What's up? It's me, Hard 8 Times. It's the truth for YouTube, your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah! What's up, people? What's happening? Make sure you go check out my last video. Gamer enters burner home to save his Xbox. The link will be down in the description just in case you missed it. You did. And also check out the Facebook group Tower Gamers where opinions are respected. That link will also be down in the description. Now, lot of shit hitting the fan about this Xbox One over the last couple of days. Mainly Tomb Raider the Definitive Edition only being 30 frames per second. A last generation game cannot run more than 30 frames per second on a next gen console. So you know shit has been hitting the fan and there has been a lot of pussies bleeding. I said bleeding. Also, we just found out today that Thief, the upcoming game Thief, will not be 1080p on the Xbox One. Damn! Ouch! It's looking bad. It's looking bad. But this shows you right here that Microsoft put games second and movie, TVs, and video shit first. You know what I mean? Because Microsoft also just came out with news that you will be able to watch NFL games on your Xbox One at 60 frames per second. You're going to make sure an NFL game can run at 60 frames, but you're not going to make sure your fucking games can run at 60 frames because they wanted to go, you know, a little bit weak on the hardware, because it's no mystery that the PlayStation 4 is a more powerful console. And this is why these things are now happening. Thief, no 1080p. Tomb Raider, 30 frames per second. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all today about. How is this going to be moving forward? Now, we already know Microsoft got deep pockets. They money is long. Big bank take little bank all day. We know this. And Microsoft doesn't have any problem with throwing that money around. None whatsoever. If they need to get something done, they will toss that money. They will make it rain in this bitch. You dig? So, how do you think these games are going to be affected moving forward? Do you think there are going to be multi-plats in the future that will get gimped on the PS4 because the Xbox couldn't handle it? Mainly something like 30 or 60 frames. Do you think in the future that Microsoft will pay developers that are willing to accept money to make the multi-plat even across both platforms? For instance, if a game could be 60 on PS4 but only 30 on the Xbox One, and Microsoft get wind of this, do you think there will be times where they will throw out money to also make the PS4 version 30 frames per second? I think that is a possibility. I think if a developer can be bought out, Microsoft will pay that money, and I think we will see it in the future that multi-plat games will probably get gimped on the PS4 because Microsoft will be tossing that money around. Now, there's also rumor that Watch Dogs will be only 30 frames per second on the Xbox One, but it will be 60 on the PS4. Now, this is just a rumor. We have yet to find out. But the way things are looking, this definitely could be a trend in the future because the Xbox One just can't cut it. They just can't cut it. They don't have the hardware to keep up with the PS4. They don't. They don't. Now, I mean, it already been happening. You know, this sign has already been there. I mean, look at games like Battlefield 4. Yes, Battlefield 4 is 60 frames on the Xbox One, but they had to cut down the resolution. You understand what I'm saying? Anytime, you know, in order to get games to be 60 frames on the Xbox One, something else has to be cut. That seems to be the trend here. I mean, even if you look at Forza 5, yes, Forza 5 is 1080p, 60 frames, but the only thing that really looks good is the cars. When you look outside of the cars, they got some nasty ass textures. The trees, the crowd, the grass, everything outside of the cars look terrible. You understand what I'm saying? So, damn, it's crazy, man. This is taking it back. I mean, last generation is funny because last generation, the better multiplats were on the Xbox 360, and you know, the bad multiplats was on the PS3, but it wasn't necessarily because of one console was more powerful than the other. I mean, we already know that the PS3 was very powerful. In fact, the Xbox 360 didn't have one exclusive that looked better than any exclusive on the, not any exclusive, but, you know, the main exclusives on the PS3. Like, you know, the Uncharted series and the Killzone series. You know, while games like Gears of War look fucking great, Halo 4 looked great, there was still, those games still didn't look better when it came to games like a God of War 3 or Killzone 3 or Uncharted 2, 3. You understand what I'm saying? So last generation this was happening, but it was because the PS3 was harder to develop for and they just didn't want to put that extra time into it. So, you know, multiplats got gimped on the PS3. It was bad, and that's why I barely ever bought a multiplat on the PS3 last generation. You know what I'm saying? So now the tables have turned, but it's not because it's hard to develop for. It's just that the Xbox One does not live up to the hype of being next gen. Woo! X-Fags. How does it feel? Damn, tables getting turned. See what happens when you talk a lot of shit? What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this, man. Do you think multiplats on the PS4 would get the shaft come later on down the road because Microsoft will put out that money to make sure that they are even across the board? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. We know Microsoft like to throw that money around, so it's definitely a possibility. But it also just shows you exactly what Microsoft was aiming for, and games were not on their, was not the top of the priority list. Games was not top priority when you can make sure I can watch football games in 60 frames, but you ain't making sure I can play games, video games, in 60 frames. That's just some bullshit. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down. But whatever you do, busy yourself, nigga. Busy yourself. This your boy Hard 8, and I'm out. Deuces.
Hey! Hey! New shoes on the Range Rover, good with mine. Motherfuckers act like I